Hi there, it's Rachel Martin, and you're listening to Parenting Teens Podcasts. If you're listening to these podcasts, I fear that it's safe for me to guess that you're here because you're a parent of a teenager, and somewhere along the way it's just not going right. Firstly, I wanted to say well done. Well done for doing something about it, for finding support and looking for advice. That just shows that you care, and most importantly, that you're ready to make things change. Secondly, I want to assure you that you're in the right place. In these podcasts, my sole aim is to share the information that I've learned as a teen and parent counsellor over the years. All I want to do is to help you along this journey so that you can do the very best for your teen. I really hope you enjoy this podcast, and thanks ever so much for listening. Hello, and welcome to another podcast about parenting your teens. This week, friends. So a bit of a touchy one that either works beautifully well or for some reason seems to be the bane of your life as a parent. So I've looked into this from a number of different ways. So I've got a question to ask you, and my first question is, do you consider yourself to be a good judge of character? Now, if you do or you don't, do you remember how it is that you learn to make and pick friends? What it is, or when it was that you first worked out what really matters when it comes to friends? It's a bit of a complicated one, isn't it? And there's probably not one moment where you felt you nailed it. And it's just to put in perspective that this is what your teen is learning right now. They're going right through the depths of this. They're at the deepest point whilst they're at school and college. They can't escape it. They can't just ghost someone out if they don't want to see them again. They're learning how to deal with people they like, people they don't like, and how to draw in the people who they want to be their people. Now, it's really important as a parent, just like you wouldn't criticise their mistakes with their maths or their English, that you don't do this with their life skills development. They really want to get this right, but they so importantly need to learn what matters to them when it comes to friends. If you criticise, they're going to feel like a failure, like you disapprove of their life skills and the choices that they've made. And we all kind of know where that ends up. They just pull away. They block you out. They don't tell you anything anymore. And we all know how painful and destructive that one is when it's in a household. I can't express enough how important friends are to teens. They help them to learn. They help them to shape their personalities, their morals, and their self-perception. But getting it right just takes so much time. The journey, as you probably remember, is plagued with potholes because friends argue, they change, they leave, they get partners, they judge and get jealous. And let's be honest, some are just out and out mean. But some are everything they need right at that stage in their life. Some help them to lower the stress. They help them when it all gets too much. Or they stand up for them or help them in moments of panic. But without a doubt, what I've found with friends that they pick, that they gravitate to, and that they stick with, those friends are the ones who make them feel they belong. They make them feel seen, heard, and wanted. Let me just say that again. The friends that they stick with are the ones where they feel seen, heard, and wanted. Now, I want you to think about the friends you have now. It's pretty much the same, isn't it? In one way or another, they see you. They see what you're doing. They hear what you're up to. And they want to be included in your life. The people who allow you to offload and speak when you need to. The ones who make you laugh and keep in touch. Even if you're anything like me and a bit of a hermit, and that's once every 3 to 6 months, you still arrange to see each other. These are the ones that you keep hold of. These are the ones that matter. Now let's not try and sugarcoat it. Sometimes your teen will make the wrong choice and pick someone who just isn't right. They're drawn in some way to someone who isn't genuinely interested in them. They just want to make up numbers in their group or have followers to go round with them, or someone to make the mistakes with them. If your teen is more on the quiet or anxious side, this mistake is a real risk. But it's not your mistake to fix. And trust me when I say you can pre-warn about this one. But if your teen wants to feel included, and the strong and confident people out there are aware of this, they're a bit like a moth to a flame. These two are drawn together. So what can you do? Well, trying to kill the moth ain't going to work. In fact, it'll turn your teen's light off with you. They won't be interested in you or coming around and seeing what you're up to. So that's definitely a no-no. Something that will help though is you can encourage your teen's self-confidence. If you can help them to get an understanding of what matters to them with friends. When they see how far this is from the friend that they've got, the bond begins to break. And the need to belong with this person just feels wrong. Another aspect I want to raise here is actually about you. If you listen to my podcast, you'll know by now, sometimes the feelings, worries and concerns you have don't always come from them. Do these friends maybe remind you of someone from your past? Are you seeing things in them you dislike in others? This is a dangerous place to be. Not only are you making a judgment from half a picture, need I remind you, you don't actually know this person, you aren't their friend, you've just heard from your teen what it is about them that they do or don't like. You don't actually know them. But you're also placing your teen in the place of you, with your beliefs and your morals. Bit of a truth bomb. They don't have your experiences. And if you continue to try to control their choices, they'll never get these chances. And if you continue to try and control, truth bomb, they aren't you. They don't have your experiences. And if you continue to try to control their choices, they will never end up getting these for themselves. They won't have the experiences they need to draw on in the future. And yeah, this is a bad thing. Making choices because your parents said so only works for so long, before you need to find out for yourself. Control this in their teen years, and when they decide to test this, they'll be in their 20s, when you're not there, and it's maybe a work colleague or even a future partner. These choices are harder to come back from, and sometimes harder to break free from. So please don't disable your teen's ability to filter friendships. Best course? Make sure your teen's comfortable with who they genuinely feel they are. To do this, you make this person feel seen, heard and wanted. Remember those three? Isn't it always funny how it comes in a bit of a cycle? But they really are the key to this. If you allow your teen to try and learn what feels comfortable for them, try different looks, focuses and interests, the one they settle with will mean that they feel seen, heard and wanted by the people that they need to see them, hear them and want them. Now if your teen picks a nasty stance, a nasty set of morals and things you don't really like, by no means am I saying embrace this and let them make dangerous decisions. Boundaries and rules are the most important thing. And if you missed it, I mentioned this in episode 1 of my podcast. By all means go back and have a look. But don't craft your teen into the person you want them to be. It will lead them to find support outside the home, which could well work out okay. But it could also lead to silly friendship decisions to bridge the gap that they've lost with you. Always remember, if they can be themselves and feel comfortable in their own skin, This will bleed out into all the further choices they make, including which friends they pick. So in summary, what can you do? You help them to be themselves. You help them feel seen, heard and wanted within your home. And as backward as it seems, it may help with their friendship choices by feeling that they don't have to desperately find this elsewhere. So if you can help them feel comfortable in your home, being truly as they want to be, you'll help them feel comfortable out in the big wide world. Now come on, that's a bit of a winner. I hope you found this useful. It's just a small snippet into the world of things to consider when your teens are making friends. I know we don't always like the friends that we pick, but that the lessons that they learn from these friendships are huge. You have to let your teen craft their own journey, but you can help them make sure the journey is one that's important to them, that fits with the person they are. Help them feel seen, heard and wanted and comfortable in their skin, and you'll help them win in the friendship journey. Thanks for taking time to listen. Have a lovely day. I hope it helped. Thanks for listening to this podcast. I hope it's helped. If you like listening to it, then please make sure you click the subscribe button on whichever platform you're listening so that you don't miss the next podcast that comes up. If there's anything you'd like to suggest for me to talk about in future, or if you've got any feedback at all, please send me a message. I'm Inner Strength on Facebook, Parenting a Teen on Instagram, and my Inner Strength website. I'll be happy to take your suggestions, and I'm looking forward to recording more of these to hopefully help brighten your day. Have a good one.